morning, and it's a beautiful morning in this part of Derbyshire. I hope it's a beautiful morning where you're coming from, where you're listening to me from, watching me from, distant from me. We are distant from each other. I've come 2.77 miles of distance this morning at an average speed apparently of 13 miles an hour. That's the joy of having this app that I've got for my bicycle. Technology crushes distance, doesn't it? 100 years ago, if you wanted a message sent to the next village, you walked, or you got on a horse, or you wrote it on a bit of paper and give it to somebody that walked, or got on a horse, or train maybe. But the point was, distance meant something a lot more then than it does now. Distance doesn't mean anything now. You can FaceTime people from the other side of the world, and we do. Relatives across the other side, another continent, other side of the world. Just as if you're sitting in the same room. You can have a chit chat. Right? Distance. But there's one sort of distance that I do want to talk to you about this morning. And I've not spoken a lot about the reason for us being in lockdown. Mention it in a lot of my videos, but I don't labour the point. But today I am going to labour the point, because on Sunday I went out on my motorbike and I met up with my mate Neil, and we had a socially distant picnic. We did, 6 foot apart. Took our own sandwiches, took our own snap, our own bit of drink, and had a chat, put the world to rights, as you might say. It did us both the world of good, but we had to keep our distance because this thing ain't gone away. And even if they lift lockdown properly, even if they find a cure, even if they find an injection that works, that gets rid of it, that inoculates us from COVID, they're talking about maybe early autumn. That's a long time, and we can't be isolated all that time. So we've got to practice social distancing. It was my lovely wife's birthday yesterday, as I mentioned. We went out. We went down to Monsell Head. Our mate Jack. Alright Jack, morning. Our mate Jack come and met us on his bike. We went in the car, like. My G ain't really into going pilly no more. Not yet. I'm never saying never, but not yet. So we went and we had another socially distant gathering. And while we were up there were probably between 8 and 10 bikes in little groups, 2s and 3s. And these people all got off their bikes and kept their social distance. But I'd be prepared to lay a good bet that the people that do the social distancing, the people that go out, that don't lock themselves away, that go out and have socially distant gatherings, will be a lot more healthy than the ones who just try and rub it out, pretend it's not there. So yeah, keep your distance, but don't be isolated, eh? There's no need to be isolated, no need to lock ourselves away. There's no reason on this earth or Fuller's earth to be isolated. And yeah, FaceTime and other such apps are very nice, they're very useful. But in my experience, certainly during this lockdown, they've become a bit of an excuse to have a group drink, really. I've been on 3 or 4 of these now, and They're just drink fests, like, you know. Because we're all trying to... I think we're in denial. That's what it is. I think we get in denial about being locked away. And we try and show people how free we are. How wonderfully independent we are. By getting drunk as skunks and talking nonsense on a group chat. Maybe. I might be wrong about that. I don't know. I don't know. As I've said to you many times, I'm not an expert. Not an expert in very much at all, really. But I'm an honest person when it comes to this sort of thing. What I say I honestly think, and what I think I honestly believe and feel. And we do need to think about this social distancing very seriously, because it ain't going away. And it ain't going away. I don't mean to be, this isn't in any way, shape or form doom laden or bad news spreading, but it is going to be a new reality. Broke my heart Sunday and yesterday that I couldn't give me mates an hug as we leave. We always do that. You may have seen, if you're not bikers, you may have seen it in biker films or whatnot. You may have seen it yourself going on. Matlock and other places on a Sunday where bikers gather. We give each other a hug. It don't mean we take windy walks and all that. It's brotherhood, you see. It's brotherhood. We treat each other like family, you see. And that physical contact, that manly handshake or big old manly bear hug, we're missing it. There's not a lot of people going to admit that, for fear of being called names. Well, you can call me all the names you like, I'm Teflon coated. Sticks and stones may break my bones. I've done that one from this here very bridge before. Eh? So yeah, keep your distance. But this is a new reality. This isn't a temporary thing that we've got, like lockdown was temporary, wasn't it? A few weeks. And now we're allowed out again. More than once a day. You're allowed to go out with your family units, people you live in the house with. These are temporary measures. Shutting down all the businesses. It's temporary measures. But keeping socially distant isn't temporary. It's medium term at best. And it could actually be for a long, long time. So we're going to have to get other ways round it. What do we do when we can't shake hands with people? What do we do when we can't give our mates a big stupid bear hug? Eh? Got to find other ways round it, haven't we? Me and Jack yesterday did this non-handshake handshake. Held our hands out like that. Several feet apart. Didn't talk to each other. Yeah, here we go, look. Riding along on your push bike. Morning. Miserable bleeder. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Sometimes I only say good morning because I know they're not going to respond. It makes me feel cheeky. But we kept our distance. Eh? And it is very, very important. It's not a joke. It's not a conspiracy theory. These people in London that have been getting arrested for, oh, it's a fake news story. All this COVID-19. It ain't real. It's a government-backed plan to do what? To wreck the country on purpose, to spoil their own gravy train. Eh? That's a bit of a mad theory, isn't it? I know. Let's gather together and absolutely ruin the goose that lays our golden eggs. Don't be soft. Come on. Come on. I'm all for conspiracy theories. All day long. Who killed JFK? Was the moon landings real? I'll discuss these things all day and all night. Because they're fun. It's fun to exchange facts about things. But this with the COVID and all that, I don't care who started it. I don't care where it come from. I'll not thank anybody for enlightening me as to the origins of it. I don't care whether it was a bat shagging a monkey or whether it was a scientist selling something to somebody he shouldn't have done. I've heard them all, and I'm not interested. What I want to do is get through it and find this new reality. So we have got to keep our distance. Just like when you're following a lorry and you see the stickers on the back of the lorry, if you can't see my mirrors, I can't see you. You've got to keep a safe distance. Same thing. Keep your distance. If you've ever travelled on the London Underground, most stations you get to, I ain't been there for years, but it used to always say, mind the gap. Mind the gap. The gap between the train and the platform. Reminding you that you need to keep a distance. Or you might fall and have an accident, you see. Make everybody else late for work. You will. So yeah, keep your distance, but don't be distant. I think, does that make any sense? Keep your distance, but don't be distant. Keep a space between you. Don't let this virus thing keep passing around the place. Let's try and get on top of it. But this distance thing, it's a new reality, folks. It's not temporary. So I'm going to get on, travel a bit more distance on my bicycle. We're going out to, we went yesterday to Montsaled and then reacquainted ourselves with a Monsal trail. So me and my lovely lady are going to put the bicycles in the car, probably this afternoon, who knows. And as long as it don't rain, we are going, oh, I've heard a train. As long as it don't rain, we're going to go and cycle the Monsal trail. Apparently it's 8.5 miles long. So one end to the other and back, that'll be 17 miles. Not touching any public roads. Shouldn't come within 6 feet of any people. All rules observed. And I was going to just say, have a nice day, I love you, ta-da. But I've heard that train horn up there. And hear it. I can hear a diesel engine thumping away. God, how far away must that have been then? Must have been coming out of Claycross Tunnel. Here it is. It's a shed. Class 66. There you go. Yeah, Freightliner livery, 66606. Did you know it's a class 66, which is commonly colloquially known as a shed? And it was hauling, I can't tell you what the types of wagons they are. They've got a 3-letter, like a VGA or some such like that. I can't remember what the titles are. Unimportant. But it had roadstone, I think that would be in there. Limestone it looked like to me. Probably come out of the peat forest. Anyway, that's me done. I've seen it now. Come here to see trains that many times and I very often get disappointed. And now I haven't been. So happy days. You have yourselves a good day. I'm cheered up by that little thing. See you later. Ta-da.